Guests come, they sign up, I take their photo, they go enjoy the event. When people come up, this is so and so, and oh yeah, I can see her dress. Oh yeah, she was wearing this. That I know that's her.
Oh my gosh, when I saw you doing that live, I was mesmerized because I had no idea that was a thing. It's something so memorable. To this day, I still have my sketch in my closet. I remember exactly what I was wearing. I remember my shoes that I was wearing. Trust me, trust me, trust me, you need to book her as soon as you know that she's available. Hi, my name is Andrea, and besides of being recently married, I own the leading company in bouquet preservation in the world. It is when connecting with my clients that I felt the need to serve them and help them navigate this new and exciting journey. On this podcast, we bring you everything you need to know to plan the wedding of your dreams. We'll be featuring conversations with top wedding vendors and valuable tips and advice from real couples. Whether you're engaged or simply love, this podcast is for you. So sit back, relax, and let's get started on this journey to your perfect wedding day. Welcome to the club, to Bridal Club. I have Kristyn here today with ACA Event Design. I don't want to spill the beans yet, but she was a vendor that I really wanted to have for my own wedding. And unfortunately, she was so busy that she wasn't able to go. But I'm here to tell you that you need to schedule her for your wedding or any other events that you have. So, Kristyn, why don't you tell our audience who you are and everything about your company?
Thank you for having me, first of all. I appreciate it. And I'm so sad that I wasn't able to be at your
Oh, me
wedding. I
too.
really wanted to. I know it was beautiful. So, background. So, I mean, I was born and raised here in Texas. My parents still live in Arlington. I ended up going to college at the University of North Texas up in Denton. And I majored in fashion design originally. I wanted to be Vera Wang, basically. I got into fashion design, realized that I hated sewing. Absolutely hated it. I was horrible at it. But we had a few classes that were fashion illustration, and I absolutely loved the fashion illustration. So I kind of continued doing that. I ended up graduating just with a degree in art. And then life kind of happened. I ended up in a corporate day job, which I still have actually. I ended up doing the corporate thing, and I always did sketching on the side just for fun, just as a creative outlet. And then when COVID happened, well, I should say two things. I planned my wedding in 2019. My wedding was December of 2019. I was so lucky to be able to have my wedding right before COVID. Anybody that works in the industry knows how difficult that was on all these poor brides and vendors who had to deal with all of that. So I can't tell you how blessed I feel. When I was planning my wedding, that's really what turned me on to Instagram because, in planning, you're looking for inspiration and things like that. So I got into Instagram. I had this extra time. I was working from home with my day job, and I had a lot of extra time. And so then I was sketching more. And then I started posting those sketches on Instagram. And then people started seeing them and asking if they could commission me to do sketches. A lot of it was, oh, I have my best friend just got married. Here's a picture of her in her wedding dress. Can you do an illustration of her in her wedding dress? And then they'd frame it and gift it to their friend or something like that. And so I was doing that for quite a while. And then I somehow came across somebody in another state that does the live sketching. And I was just like, gosh, I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if anybody would be interested in it. I'm lucky. I live in a great area of town where I've got such a great clientele already built in. And I'm on kind of like a Facebook group. And I posted on there and said, hey, would anybody be interested in something like this? A huge response. So I started November of 2021 is when I started. Had my first event November, and I was lucky. It was a small dinner party, like six couples. And of course, back then I wasn't nearly as fast as I am now.
Yeah.
It took me, it was a 3 hour party. I only got four couples done. I had
Oh,
to finish two from home. From there, just word of mouth. I try to be pretty visible on Instagram, post a lot, do a lot of videos.
yeah.
Instagram and TikTok is where I've gotten most of my business.
You and I actually met at an event and you were sketching. I wanted to be a fashion designer too, specifically for wedding gowns. In fact, I went to marketing for school, like I finished my degree and then I went to fashion, but I didn't finish either because I was working full time, my corporate job at the same time. So it didn't allow me to. I also do hate sewing and I'm terrible at it. I got almost kicked out at a class at Michael's when I tried to do like some PJ. So it was really bad. But I love the sketching and all of that. However, oh my gosh, when I saw you doing that live, I was mesmerized because I had no idea that was a thing. And to this day, I still have my sketch in my closet. And then when I learned that you did, like even weddings as well, I really wanted to introduce that to my wedding because, again, of my love with fashion design and what I wanted to do. And it's just such a beautiful and personal like thing that, well, first of all, it's very entertaining, but then also like a souvenir. I have mine and I love it. Tell me a little bit more about the brands that you worked with.
I've worked with Gucci, Valentino, Louis Vuitton, Neiman Marcus. Gosh, I can't think of the others, but yeah, a lot of these kind of luxury fashion brands and stuff. And a lot of it, a lot of it is they'll have either like a grand opening, an event, some kind of event activation, or they'll have something for their kind of preferred customers, and they, shopping event or something, and then they come in and and they get a sketch by me. So those are really fun. That's I mean, because my background is in fashion, of course, that's just I get real excited about doing
Oh my God.
those.
Yeah, what an honor. So, specifically for weddings and events, I know you do like bachelorettes and stuff like that too. Just tell me a little bit more about like what it's like to work with you and walk me through the process of hiring you.
So you'll go on my website. There's a little form you fill out. You basically give me some information. Just what's your event? How many guests are you anticipating? What's the location? All of that good stuff. And then I'll reach out. We'll talk more about it. I'll let you know if I'm available. We'll walk through the process. And basically, the process is that my setup's pretty easy, which is great. I basically just need a decent sized, sturdy table. Ideally, I really need to be indoors. I can be more effective. I really can't sketch outdoors if it's like super hot in the summer
Of
anyway,
course.
but basically indoors out of wind and the elements and all that good stuff. But basically just need a table, I need a chair, I need an electrical outlet nearby. My setup basically I have markers, watercolors, um, pens that I bring all of those supplies. I will have a sign up sheet. It's first come, first served. Guests come, they sign up, I take their photo. A, they don't have to all wait in line to get their sketch done because then they're missing a lot of the event. And B, they don't have to just stand there the entire time while I'm sketching them. So they sign up, I take their photo, they go enjoy the event. A lot of times they like to come back and peek and see how it's going. And of course, that's part of the fun. They are absolutely more than welcome to stand there the whole time and watch me sketch, which a lot of them like to do that too, or they love to ask questions. They love to it's neat too when you've got somebody who has a background in art or their child's interested in art or something and they're like, oh, what markers are these, or or it just we kind of trade information and stuff. And so that's really fun for me to get to talk to them about that. But yeah, so I do their sketch. It's on 5x7 paper. I really like to do 5x7 because it's very portable. It's easy to frame. I have so many people say, "Oh, it's on my desk in my office," or "I've got it up in my kitchen." And also the portability of it, I think, is nice, especially for weddings because you have a lot of out of town guests. It's very easy to take a little 5x7 and throw it in your purse or throw it in your bag, as opposed to some big like 8x10 or 9x11 sketch. And
Yeah.
then I also package them in I've got like a cellophane wrapper that they go in, and then there's also like a firm backing board that I put in each one, and that helps really protect them and keep them from getting bent, especially at weddings when everybody's cutting loose and having fun.
Right.
These things they tend to maybe accidentally get spilled on or get set somewhere and could get bent or something like that. So I really try to protect them as best I can.
Earlier, you were talking about a 3-hour event and you were able to only do for couples.
Yeah.
So now, what? Tell our audience how fast you're able to sketch these people.
3 hours, I think I did the 25 couples. And that is something to touch on is that the nature of what I do. A lot of times I'll have somebody email me and say, oh my, I'm gonna have 300 people at my wedding. Do you think
Oh,
3 hours is
yeah,
enough time? And
right.
so I have to kind of educate on that, we kind of have to sit down and do the math and think about, well, because of what this is, it's about 6 minutes a guest to
Right.
sketch somebody. It's still fast, but not everybody, especially if you have a really high guest count, not everybody's going to go home
Of
with a
course.
sketch. There's ways around that. One is not everybody's going to want a sketch, so that's always helpful. Two, a lot of times I'll kind of have add-ons where I will do some after the fact from my home studio, and then I'll mail them to the
Yes.
client, and then they can distribute them. You can only go so fast when you're
Of
sketching.
course.
Sometimes we could bring in an extra artist, which is nice if they happen to be available. There's not that many of us that do this, so it's hit or miss sometimes, but that's always an option as well. And then sometimes I'm always trying to find ways to go faster and but still maintain the integrity of my artistic style. And so that's always that's something I'm always working on. We can do things where we maybe do less details. We don't maybe put a face on the guests on the illustrations. Generally, I mean, you really probably can't get any faster than about 5 minutes a
Yeah.
person.
When I met you, I mean, everybody wanted their sketch done. I mean, again, it was a super fun, girly
Hard.
opening, and I was one of them. I didn't actually get to take mine home, but to be honest, it was actually even more exciting too because I was waiting for it in the mail, and then I opened it and I kind of like got to relive you taking my photo. I was waiting for it. People may think like, oh, they're gonna be disappointed they're not gonna take something home. It
Mhm.
really did not take at all anything from the experience, and again, I still have it there. And every single time that I go to my closet, which is every day, I remember you.
I love to hear that it doesn't take it because of course me as I want everybody to go home happy, and that's the honestly the hardest part about what I do is trying to get to as many people as possible, get to everybody, make everybody happy. Um, but I will say, yeah, generally, like when if I'm telling people, hey, I'm so sorry I couldn't get to you tonight, but we'll do it from home and mail it to you, they're always more than happy.
And I hope whoever is hiring you that they know that they can and should hire you to just finish those sketches because again, it's something so memorable. The art that you made for me, I remember exactly what I was wearing. I remember my shoes that I was wearing. So yeah, that is super fun. Talk to me a little bit about how you're personalizing these sketches so people are like, okay, yes, this is me.
Well, I mean, the biggest part it's the clothes because ultimately it is basically a fashion style sketch. So we're really focusing on what they're wearing. We keep the features of the face and everything fairly stylized. The main reason is because of time. Is
Sure.
the more stylized I can make those pieces and the less kind of details I have to do, the faster I can go, the more guests I can sketch. When people come up and they know oh, this is so and so, this is so and so, and that's part of the fun too. People they'll come up, even if somebody doesn't get a sketch of their own, they love to come up and see all the sketches laid out. This is so and so, and oh yeah, I can see her dress. Oh yeah, she was wearing this. That I know that's her.
And then the hair too. I saw
Right,
you.
and we do that, and we definitely I do their hair, try to, match skin tone as best as possible, and little things like, if I see that a couple like, I can tell if a couple is sassy or if they're real kind of, touchy-feely and kind of, real huggy on each other,
Yes.
or like and it's a small thing, but, like, if the guy isn't, like, smiling real big, if he's not showing his teeth in his smile, like, little things like that, I'll put that in it, and because that does convey a little bit, of something. Of course, if the guy has facial hair, we're going to put facial hair. If they have glasses, things like that. And again, that goes back to me trying to maintain the integrity of my sketches. Like, as much as I would like to not do all those details because I could get through more sketches faster, I really want those details to be on there because and people they like it, they appreciate it.
I remember, and again, my wedding was 11/11/23, so I know you were obviously booked, and you were booked for the entire rest of the year, which it was so unfortunate because I was like, okay, since I didn't get to have you at the wedding, I'll hire you to do the guests after the wedding, and then I can still send them kind of like as a thank you note. And you were so booked for the timeline that I wanted, so we didn't actually get to work together. I know one day we're gonna work together.
Yeah, and there's actually there's pre-celebration and post-celebration options. And so I'll start with the post since we were kind of talking about that. I absolutely have people where they'll send photos after the fact. Once all their photos come back, but typically what we'll do is like if they'll kind of have these VIP guests, they want to make sure that they have
Yes.
that all of their wedding party, the grandparents, the parents, maybe these, friends that flew in from out of town, things like that. They'll make sure that they get photos of all of them and then they send those to me after the fact. And then I'll sketch off of those and then send all of those to the client. And then, yeah, I think it's really cute for them to put it in their thank you notes. Pre-celebration, which is really fun too. I've had plenty of times where I'm not available for an event. Let's say it's a bridal shower. In fact, I just did one like this. She sent me photos of the guests ahead of time and I sketched them ahead of time. And so it kind of acted as their place card slash party favor. And it was so cute. She put them in these little clear acrylic like frames. Really, I really enjoy doing those. It's really fun. And they're so surprised when they get to their table and they're like, oh my gosh, that's me. How'd you do this? And
Yeah, I
so,
bet. I
yeah.
mean, it's crazy because sometimes, like, even putting the name, so you feel so special as a guest, like sitting down where literally your name is there, and you're like, wow, they really thought this through, and they thought of me. I can't even imagine with the sketch. I would have never thought of that.
It's a nice alternative for me to be able to offer if I'm not available for somebody's
Yeah,
event. It's
yeah,
really
for
nice to be
sure.
able to offer that.
And just to confirm, you do travel, correct?
I do travel when my schedule allows. I've traveled to Florida a few
Oh,
times,
wow. Okay.
California, Integrity Hills in Missouri. I've had people from way more places ask me to travel, but I'm just not available.
Wow.
And so I haven't been able to as much as I would like to. And then I always joke, well, half joking, not really. If somebody's having a wedding in, Italy and would like me to fly over, you just let me know. I'll be
Well,
there.
we're gonna definitely show your stuff because they people need to see it so they like truly understand why they need you. I mean, it's just a win-win-win for everyone, to be honest. And you call it an activator, is that correct?
For certain things, I guess an event activation, which is,
Activate.
but
But I mean,
right.
it's still kind of like the same, right? I mean, it's still like it's still an activity that is gonna truly
Right, it is, it's an activity for the guests, it's an interactive,
yes.
super unique activity for the guests to enjoy. What I hear the most is literally the most out of guests is, "This is so cool, I've never seen this before,"
I
and
know.
I'm just always thrilled to hear that because that means that this is still a very unique niche thing, you know?
Yeah.
And what they say a lot, they go, "Oh, yeah, I've been at an event where I've had a caricature done, but I've never had something like this." Like, and I'm not slamming caricatures at all, we love caricatures, but people just in general say that, this one, it's more elevated. I just the other day, I had somebody call me asking if I knew of anywhere that they could take my sketch that I did of them at the event, and they wanted to turn it into their Christmas cards.
Oh, wow.
So
Well, that is
yeah,
sweet.
things like that. So that was pretty cool.
Again, it's like the one thing I regret not having at the wedding. So for the lucky ones, how far in advance should they book you just to make sure that they can get in your books?
I try to start opening my calendar up about a year out. I have people asking for farther out than that, but I just it's so hard for me to try and just to know what's going to be happening any further out than that. Especially this year, I have a daughter who's a senior in high school, so this year is going to be a crazy one
Oh,
with all of her activities and everything. So
well, I guess for those that are interested, just reach out. By the way,
absolutely,
it was
absolutely,
amazing. I can't believe you have a high schooler. Like, what is happening? Okay, well,
I
you were
know.
great. But anyways,
Oh,
yeah,
thank
reach
you.
out for sure. Reach out for sure, so you can at least learn if she's not booked, she's available, and then book. Trust me, trust me, trust me. You need to book her like as soon as you know that she's available because she books really fast. All right. Any new projects that you want to tell our audience?
Well, I have been starting to try to, which is so my daughter is an artist as well,
Wow.
and she's phenomenal at digital art. And so I've been trying to dip my toe into learning digital art. And it's actually, thank goodness, it's a little easier than I thought. And so
Really?
I've actually been doing some stuff, collaborating with some local wedding invitation companies. And so my art's going on. We had the cutest save the date go out where I did some art and then they had somebody that turned it into almost like like action or something. It's the cutest thing. That's gonna open up a lot more things as far as like, taking
Yes.
digital art and putting it on, stationery, invitations,
Yes.
mugs, place cards. You can blow it up in which I think this is the cutest thing, and I've done this before, just with my original art, but I think it'll be a lot easier with digital, is basically, let's say you're going to have your bridal shower and you send me a photo of what you're going to be wearing for your shower, what your hair is going to look like. I'll draw you, and then we have it blown up into like a big welcome sign with your sketch on it. And so you match your sketch.
That is
And
so
then you
cute.
could take those, put it on napkins, put it
Yeah.
on your menus. I mean, the sky's kind of the limit as far as all that's concerned. And I just, oh, things just be the cutest thing.
Yeah,
So
I
there's a
agree.
lot of things brewing as far as that's concerned, but, again, gotta find the time to do it.
Yes, well, I'm super excited for you, and since you mentioned invitations and save the dates, we started. I mean, we've always done it, but we're doing it a lot now where we're actually including, my preservation pieces, right? So we're
Yes,
including the
absolutely.
invitation and all the save the dates and stuff like that because they do have a lot of drawing that are very personalized to the bride and groom. And so obviously they have a lot of emotions attached to those sketches. I cannot wait to hopefully get your sketches and combine my art within the same.
Oh, that would be fabulous.
Oh, I know. Okay, so what's your Instagram so people can follow you?
Instagram, it's ACA Event Designs, and that's designs plural, ACA Event Designs.
Oh,
If anybody's interested, it's ACA because that's my daughter's initials.
oh,
So how that got started. And then website's the same. It's www.acaeventdesigns.com.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Learn about all things wedding straight from the experts. Be sure to like and subscribe to Bridal Club.